Hey guys, this is Simon here with Caddis Fly Shop and Oregon Fly Fishing Blog. Today I've got for you here a Chironomid tied on a Alec Jackson Chironomid hook. This is my first time using these hooks. I'm pretty stoked on them. They're super nice, very stout hook. It's good when you get into some of those big lake fish when you're doing still water. So this fly really tried to put a lot of that flashiness in the body that you see in the chironomids when they're on their way up. So I will show you how I do it. A little spin around to this fly so you can see it's got some gills, some wing pads, and that holographic body that you see with chironomids. And so the hook I like to use, like I was mentioning earlier, is this Alec Jackson Chironomid hook. These are made by Daiichi. This is a size 9. They make different colors of a bunch of their hooks too, but they make some really nice spay hooks and just other trout hooks. And so to get started, I'm using, again, this Semperfli Nano Silk in black. And I don't have the bead on yet because I'm putting a gill on that comes out of the bead first. So what I'm using here is EP trigger point fibers in white. I use this stuff for a lot of dry flies. It also happens to work good for gills. It's a material that you can use for a bunch of different stuff, so I am a fan of it. And so we'll just tie that off the front and clip the excess, and then we'll have to whip finish real quick and snip our line or our thread. And then we will put the bead on real quick. And so the bead I'm using this is a Spirit River hot bead, and the color is pearl and the size is 1/8 inch or 3.2 millimeter. The color is pearl white, and so I do like these beads. They work great for this type of stuff. They're like heavy enough to get down, but they're not so heavy that they're like constantly sinking your fly if you're like twitching it or doing a little chironomid strip. And so we'll tie our thread back in, and first what we have to do is tie in our body material. And so that is the Vivis holographic tinsel in medium, and this is black. And so there's 2 layers to the body. And so first I like to put down this, actually first I will put down this, which is Flash Boom Mirage. And there's 2 colors in here. There's silver and pearl. You're going to want the pearl strands. You're going to want to make sure you grab the right one. And so first I will tie this piece in all the way to the back, a little bit down the bend of the hook here. And so now that that's tied in, next I will do the wire, which is soft wire and small, and uni-soft wire. So I'll tie that in. And then next we will do the Vivis holographic tinsel here. We will tie that in where it's got to be. And so you can build a slight taper with this. I like to keep it pretty slim. And I'm just helping it down the shank of the hook a little bit here. This thread's really great for keeping the profile low, so it's really not the best thread to be building up a taper with, but you don't need much with this, so I'm okay with doing it. Generally I will pick a different thread if I have to, you know, build up a significant body, and so that's good for that. Just a little bit of body, and then so now I'm taking this hollow tinsel and just wrapping my way up. I will get my thread out of the way here. And so yeah, now I'm taking this tinsel and wrapping my way up this fly in the black first. And I wrap all the way up to the bead, even though we're going to cover it with dubbing and the wing pads, but just enough to kind of keep it secured. You can always wrap over it. And we'll clip that excess. And then next, we need to take wraps of this pearl. And so I leave like little segments. This really mimics that gas that gets trapped under their exoskeleton they're about to shed. And so I have it tilted towards me so I can see what I'm doing, but you can see now that ribbing that I want to have there with the pearl first to kind of show those air pockets. Those bugs can be actually pretty colorful when they're on their way up, the way the sun catches that air that's trapped. And so then now we take this soft wire here and wrap in between those segments is the key here. And that's how you kind of get that look. And then the body segmentation, just like that. And we'll kind of work our way up, catching every segment. And again, you can wrap up to the bead. We'll just cover it with dubbing here. So we'll clip this, or you can helicopter it if that's how you get rid of extra thread. And so now what I need to do is take a little bit of this Solares Bone Dry, not too much, and we're just coating this just enough to help it stay together. And I like to put just enough so you can still see the ribbing. If you put too much, it'll make the whole thing smooth, and I don't really want that. And so I put just a little bit on. I will hit it with my light, and that will keep the back of your fly from getting torn up. And the ribbing helps, the wire ribbing helps, but this is just a little bit of excess to keep it safe. And so next, we need to tie like little wing pads in. And so I use Life Flex and Cream for that. And so I like to tie it in on the bottom here to catch it here, like that, and I'll wrap to right about here. And then I'll do the same on my side here, and we'll just pull the whole thing forward after we dub it, and that'll be our wing pads. That looks good to me. I kind of want it to be on the bottom and for them to pull up towards the top of the bead right here. And then so for the dubbing, I like to use Angora Goat in black. Any dubbing that you can kind of pick out and make look like little legs and buggy will work fine. This is the stuff that I have and that I have used, and I like the look that it gives. And so just do just a little bit of dubbing. You don't need a lot. This stuff goes a long way on small hooks like this. And we don't need a crazy size thorax either. So now, kind of get that all filled in, just like that. And then we'll take our pads like this and pull them up to the front. And I'll get them kind of cinched in where I want and pull tight like that. And then I will take this Life Flex once I make sure it's where I want it, and I will snip the excess like that. I'll add just a little bit more dubbing on top of what I just clipped. Just like that, and then I will whip finish here and clip. And so I color my wing pads. I saw this in a Fly Tires magazine article. This is a Copic marker, and you don't want to really get the bead like I just did, but you get the idea. I will color the pads. You could also just get a different color Life Flex, but that's what I do. If you want, you can pick this out a little bit to make it really buggy. This wrapped pretty good, so I don't need to do that much. I'll trim any excess from the top up here, or any really long pieces. Now you have like little legs coming off of it, and then again, I like to just put a little bit of Solar's Bone Dry instead of head cement right on the top here, so my fly will never come undone. Torch it with the UV light and you're good. You have a killer Chironomid patterns for lakes. You can get all this stuff at caddisflyshop.com. You can let us know if you tied it, how you did with it. We'd love to hear. Thanks.